Are you live? Yep.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution radio show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangadef. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, Palestine, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all. Join us live on the on-air radio network called 727-731-5192. We want to talk to you.
Well, greetings, everyone. This is wonderful. In spite of all the things that's going, it's a beautiful day. You know that song, It's a Wonderful, Wonderful Life. Welcome to the Female Solution here today. I'm Reverend Mama Joy here. Oh, just encouraging you to understand that this is the day that you woke up this morning, and a day that has been coming since the beginning of time. And when the sun sets, it will not return. So and just in this moment, let us take time and be grateful and understand how precious this moment is we have together. And we are delighted. And we're going to have a double header anyway, in spite of some unexpected things that has happened. And I can assure you, we'll get through this as we talk about our generational relationships. Grandparents' Day. I had an opportunity to visit a school this weekend. And it was a Lutheran school. And what was special about that was because I realized for the first time that I had not set foot into a Lutheran school since I graduated from a Lutheran school in grammar school. That's been some time ago. And believe me, times have changed. Times have changed, and sometimes more quickly than we realize it, because we're so involved with urgent matters and things that we're always busy with, without understanding that at some point in your life, you have to start living. So one of the things about walking in your authority is reaching that point in your life where you realize that you're making history every day. History was yesterday, and I was in yesterday. History was 10 years ago, and I am in history. I realized that as an educator in the Chicago public school system, walking through the hallways, that the teacher was teaching his class, and he was just so much energy and so much command of this subject he was dealing with, Vietnam. We want to thank you all for coming today. But it's about walking in your authority, taking stock and value of your life experiences, understanding that cycle, that pattern that continuously comes on. And we don't understand that we repeat life because we don't pay attention. And then we forget. And we could just stop so much suffering if we could just be still and say, I've been there before. And understand that if you've been there before, ask yourself, how far have you gotten? Going through the same thing all the time, expecting something different, is what it's called insanity, I've heard. So hopefully our conversation today will enable us to see the value of our intergenerational. What is it to be a grandmom? What is Grandparents' Day at a school? And what happens to my mind or your mind when you attend your child, your grandchild's school and find yourself present, and you find yourself in the past of where you came from, and through the children that there you see the possibilities of your future. Well, today I'm going to share my story. And as life has it, I'm on the YouTube. Let me put you there. Okay. Right now, we are on Facebook and we are on YouTube. And I'm going to ask my technician to please send that to Naima, because we are definitely there. And we're hoping that you be a part of this, okay, with us. I'm very happy about today because my experience a couple of days ago at the school caused me to have a serious thought about my life. And what I'm saying is that sometimes we don't learn lessons. Sometimes we don't see where we've been until we start linking up with the young people. For many of us, we're experiencing that our children are missing in so many areas. Since COVID-19, our churches have less young people in it. Even children organizations some have even closed because of a lack of being able to pull young people in. So I wouldn't say it's a crisis, but it's a concern that I think that we all should have. And that is, how do we link up with our youngers? How do we link up intergenerationals so we can have the kind of discussions that we need to have as a people, as a family? As I said, that I came in to this Grandparents' Day at the school with a friend of mine. And when I got there, I realized it was a Lutheran school. And I can remember going into this building. It's a beautiful building. And the first thing I noticed was that as you come in, the cafeteria area with the chairs and whatever, when you look to your left or to your right, and then the sanctuary of the church is there. So here, this church is set up, whereas even when the children go in to eat their lunch, the sanctuary is in plain view, reminding them that they have an account to a higher power. Well, I was amazed with this setup because when I was attending a Lutheran school in New Orleans, the church was a separate building in the church. And my schoolhouse consisted of just 4 rooms, 2 grades to each room. It was from 1st to 8th grade. So the one room was 1st and 2nd grade, then 3rd and 4th grade, then 5th and 6th, then 7 and 8. So 4 rooms for 8 grades. It was a small school, and one teacher, and the teacher taught both grades. We learned a lot. Close family. We didn't have Grandparents' Day, but parents were definitely demanded to be involved with us. And because it was a church, they also made sure that we attended, lessons, the classes that the church provided. Even if you weren't Lutheran, you had to attend these classes and understand what they were about, what their teachings and their philosophy was about. I learned a lot. So I went back to this Parent Day, Grandparent Day. It's really amazing to me because I went in, I'm looking at the cafe area and facing the sanctuary. All this is so different to me. All this is so very different to me. And I thought about where I came from and how we see things so differently now, in a different day and time. And after COVID, things really expedited, right? So here I am viewing a very modern school. It's about a block square it occupies, whereas where I was maybe a quarter of a block or half a block, short block. But nevertheless, I sat there, and yet my mind was in the past. And then my friend, whose grandson I was with, attending to celebrate with him, I realized how quickly time goes by and what kind of quality time do we spend with our young people? We just imagine the faces, huh? The eyes are there and all excited about grandparents there. And I'm here. And I'm just not just a visitor, but I am part of a bridge of what was and now and what to be. Grandparents are not like when I was a kid. Grandparents, when I was a kid, was sitting down in a rocking chair, rocking away. They may be sitting reading the Bible or whatever, but they are rocking, expecting to go home to heaven is what they did. But not today. Grandmothers are very busy, involved. In fact, I had a show planned today with grandmama, and in fact, it was a family with the great grandmother and all. And things just start falling apart for whatever the reason is. And so in that, I apologize for that. But nevertheless, I'll just glean from my being a grandparent. As I sat down in the chair, one of the things I noticed that the teacher had activities for us. We could share stories, and then we also did little crafts together. And they'd set it up where we did crafts, and then it was a game time. I thought about my father. He used to love to have a lot of games. The chairs were very small, right size for the children. But as I sat with my hips kind of flapping over, I said, oh, wow. Grandmama time. And then the parents, they look very young too. Probably looking just pretty much the same way that I looked at when I had my kids in school, right? But I don't see their faces every day. I see mine, and so I get used to my face. As I sat down, I recounted some of the stories and things that my mother went through when I was in a Lutheran school in New Orleans. Do you reflect? I thought about how I was so involved in teaching and sharing our history until I had a birthday party and someone had drawn a painting of me. A gift painting with two people. My spiritual mentor, Sojourner Truth, and on the other side was my mother. And my granddaughter came and she said, oh, my grandma, that's a really nice picture. That's a nice picture. He did a good job. I said, yeah, he did. She said, but grandma, I want to know who's that lady over there by you? I said, oh, that's Sojourner Truth. She said to me, oh, I know Sojourner Truth. I'm talking about that other lady. Oh, I felt like this. I didn't know quite how to feel. Because here I am, a grandmother, and I'm teaching about our history. I'm teaching about the importance of our history. And my granddaughter asked me, who was the other lady? And the other lady was the person and the ground of where my history began, in my mother's womb. But she didn't know my mom. So I'm saying that as scripture says, it said, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and yet lose his soul? What does it profit us if we are out changing the world and calling on families, and then we may subject ourselves to losing our own? Yeah, it could be negative, but then again, I look at it now, whoa, Joy, that was a big lesson. Because what I was encouraging others to do was not necessarily leading them towards where they needed to be and what they were doing. This is where our CEO, her mother's 100 years old now. 100 years old of history, and she's still living history. Maybe perhaps what has happened there is that reason why we have the female solution. Think about it. So many times we start on the outside, doing the work on the outside, rather than starting from within. So when my granddaughter told me that a few years back, I've been very conscious of that. So I talk and share stories, because I realize that right now, the world is changing. It's changing so quickly, but technology is here. I have children in Joliet. I have children in Chicago. I have children in California. I have children, grandchildren, I should say, in Houston, Texas. How do we connect? How do we share the stories? Yeah, I want you to call in. You can call in and chime in at 515-605-9325. If you're a grandparent or you're a parent, call in. Share with us and let's talk about our value as grandparents and as living history right now today. And what values are we leaving for those when we leave here and left behind? 727-731-5192. And you just identify yourself and come right on in. Thank you for being here with Mama Joy today and on the Female Solution and walking in our authority. Our authority begins with ourselves, and our power comes in our telling our stories and sharing our stories to empower our young people, to empower those around us. So encouraging intergenerational bonding is what we're doing today in the first part. In the second part, we're going to meet a couple of amazing women. I talk with them, so I know they'll be here. Lucretia Arnold and Sister Rhonda Glover. And again, one of them is not just a grandmother, but she's also a great-grandmother. So we can even have an extended conversation on that as well. But sitting down in that room was quite an experience for me. And of course, we're on YouTube right now, and we are also on Facebook. So if you're there, you can put your comments in, and we'll be able to communicate with you as well. I'm going to ask Jerome if you can share some of the pictures that I had from yesterday, a day before yesterday, when we decided that we were going to talk about our grandmothers. I'm very excited still. And let me just ask you some questions to think about, ponder about empowerment. Empowerment through generational bridges. You know, I can remember my grandmama when she was, I guess, 65, and she was so excited. She says, "Hey, they got something for us to do now." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "The older people have something to do. They've got a golden age." I said, "Well, Grandma, what does golden age mean?" It means that we have reached a golden time in our life, and we have worked and we've retired, but we could still have some fun. And so Grandma's time up to that time. Oh yeah, here's a picture of where I was here with this young man. His name is Gideon, and his father is an African, and he is, let me see if I get his name, Benny Machu. His father's African, and he's a 5th grader. And he's in an area where I'm looking at maybe Black children who maybe just about 2%. And here he is. We felt really great about this because he had more people come with him. His sister to the right, his grandmother in the center, his mom is in back of him. And there he is, and that's his teacher. You can also see his picture up there where you see the monitor saying the class. And as a friend of his mom and my neighbor, I felt the need to support her because she says, "I've never been to anything like this, Mama Joy." So we could see her granddaughter here. She's 20 and he's 10. But this was her first Grandparents' Day. And her daughter was not supposed to be there. She was covering for her daughter. When I realized today that they were not going to be able to make it, I called around. I called several grandparents, to be honest, 4. There, Gideon is there, he's speaking. His grandmother was so proud of him. She said, I've never experienced this before. And I was sitting in there looking at all these children. And I realized that when I graduated from 8th grade at my Lutheran school, there weren't but 16. Because all of the Lutheran schools were very, very small in New Orleans. Get a chance and tell me what's your experience about a Grandparents' Day. 515-605-9325 or 727-731-5191. Okay. Am I on mute? I should not be on mute. I should not be on mute. I think I can be heard now. I was speaking, but I had it down. So anyone's on the call board, you can come and call in and have a chat. In about a couple of minutes, we're going to have a sponsor. Your grandmother by marriage. Your birth child hasn't had a child yet. But I have observed that when marriages end and families are broken, grandparents are often disconnected. Yes, Naima, thank you for your comment. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Grandparents being disconnected. I experienced that when my daughter divorced from her husband. And that was a very painful thing for me to experience, a divorce. And I could not communicate with the grandparents on the other side so that we could come together and create a more peaceful situation for the children's sake. And I realized that everyone matures at different levels, and some people just remain the same. But it was very hard for me to look at people who are in the same area of age, experience, and not feel the need to be able to communicate and take in consideration the children. Well, we can talk about that. We often get disconnected, but you know what? I've learned that grandparents have a right, and grandparents can fight and stand for their right to be with their children. Oh, Tamara Pingjian says, I have only been a grandmother for a year. I'm looking forward to sharing history and connecting with my granddaughter. So thank you for this conversation and reminder of the importance of this connection. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And Tamara, I'm thank you, number one, for responding. And also that you have a desire for that connection. And the value of it is because that child is a part of who you are. And we, as a people, when I say as not all Black people, but for so many of us, we're always looking for somebody to come from the outside. It's not happening. We have to share our own history. My granddaughter taught me that. And so I share now my grandmother. We're having a family reunion next month. And so I've been asked to do a booklet so that the young people can know their grandmother, that they can know their great-grandmother. I go down to New Orleans now, and there are 3 and 4 generations below me. I can't even ask who your mama is. I started with, who's your grandmother? Who's your grandmother? Or either who's your mother? And they tell me, and I go to the mom and I say, okay, who's your mother? and they give me that mother, and then I may have to ask another time. Because young people are having children much younger now. Okay? So let me get into this position now of going into our sponsorship by bringing on that next one. Okay? So as we get our sponsorship, I'd appreciate very much. And we'll be back in a few minutes. Thank you. Okay. Alrighty. We can't hear the commercial. It should be here. Can you hear the commercial? I'm not able to pull it up. I'm there. I'm on the board. But there's no vocalization. And then if you're calling from 515-605-9325, and you want to contribute to the program, just click push 1 on your phone, and we'll be right there with you. For some reason, we're not getting any sound. Do we have an alternative? Okay, we will just continue on as we work with this. And for those of you who are with us with Facebook or YouTube, we thank you very much. And we will just continue until we are able to correct and give time for our sponsors today. So we thank you. Call in 605-9325. That's 515-605-9325. Or call us at 727-731-5192. We thank you so very much. You can't hear my voice on the Blog Talk Radio. Really? Okay. Well, what have we got going on there? The mute button is not on.
.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com.
Hello.
And get your personally autographed copy of the book, Slavery, the African American Psychic Trauma.
Well. That's why we have our CEO here with us, Sister Naima Latif. Yes, we're on mute. I have this new phone. It didn't show mute, but I had to fumble around. It said hide, right? So I pressed hide, and then it went to another screen, and sure enough, you were right from the very beginning. So I want to say thank you for those who will come in. Really, don't stray, don't go away. We're just going to do this so right. So we appreciate you being here with us. And we're going to just move right on to our faithful sponsor, Director Shin Suk Kim.
Do you want to live in a world without war?
All right, we can hear.
Heavenly Culture World Peace Restoration of Life transcends culture, religion, ideology, and other boundaries to achieve peaceful harmony in the global society. HWPL is committed to bringing world peace and cessation of war through peaceful dialogue between religious groups. I am Director Shin-Suk Kim of the HWPL Chicago branch of North America. Join us for our next gathering. Call 773-580-1501 and be a part of the movement for world peace. Email us at chicagohwpl@gmail.com. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution Global Radio TV show. We are a part of the online network of Associated Internet Radio hosts, On Air. On Air empowers you with transformative news and interactive radio TV shows. This is such a wonderful time to be alive and to see our human family coming together as one community as a result of that powerful tool, the internet. We can now talk directly to each other all over the world. There's no need for conflict or misunderstanding. There's no need for violence to solve our differences. We can talk to each other face to face until we reach an agreement. On Air offers a fantastic global guide to communicators from all over the world who are using their internet platforms to inspire us to strive to be our best selves in order to become the kind, compassionate, loving people we were all born to be. Once we do that, we'll see planet Earth transformed into a place of peace. Subscribe to the recommended YouTube channels, Facebook pages, and podcasts created by these Voices of Enlightenment. On Air provides daily news briefs and a weekly magazine to keep you abreast of events and opportunities. On Air news affiliates in television, radio, and print share information, insight, and interviews with notable personalities. Go to onaireverywhere.com for a daily dose of uplifting news. We're on air everywhere, online all the time. Do you have a product or service? Take your business global and get new customers from around the world. Advertise on the Female Solution radio show. You may have a great product. You may even have a fantastic website. But how do you let people know you exist? Tell them. Promote your business on one of the most dynamic shows on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution. You'll reach an enthusiastic audience of more than 100,000 loyal daily listeners with a specially designed 30-second ad that will drive customers directly to your website. We'll send you statistics as tracked by Blog Talk Radio to let you know the numbers and demographics of those hearing your advertisement. Your ad will run during the live 2-hour morning show from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, and it will be heard all day long by listeners who listen to the archived show. You'll reach our worldwide audience on their laptops, iPods, iPads, and cell phones. Watch the orders for your product or service increase. Just go to our website, www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com and click on the radio advertising page. Send us your words. We'll create a 30-second radio ad and watch your business increase worldwide.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back to Female Solution. I'm Mama Joy here, Reverend Mama Joy here, encouraging you to walk into your authority, you know. I declare you have to be around a little while before you realize that you got some power, you got some stories, and how you increase it is by sharing. So, you know, I am really excited. You know, I want to thank my sister Naima. Latif.
Yes.
Yes,
Well,
because
we are helping every time we share our own personal stories. And it's significant that this is a time to celebrate grandparents because so many grandparents have had to step up and be the parents in the lives of children because something happened in whatever emotional situation that the parents were not able to do the job adequately, whether it was a substance abuse issue or just a financial issue or emotional issue, whatever the case was. Sometimes the parents were not able to be the parents and the grandparents had to do the job. And it's very challenging, especially in these times. There's so much that's evolving technologically, and grandparents are expected to be able to help with homework and all those things that might have really been overwhelming for them, and expected to have all kind of energy that you don't have in your 60s and 70s that you had in your 20s and 30s. So grandparents have often had to really do the job twice. They raised the children and they had to raise the children's children. And this had an impact, I think, for a lot of children who may have had to realize that their grandparents didn't always have the physical energy to go to a lot of things or be present at games and parent meetings and all of that at schools. And it's a different experience when you're raised by your grandparent. And they love you, they do the best they can, but it's different. And sometimes it's better because as a grandparent, you have wisdom that you didn't have with your own children. And sometimes you can correct mistakes you may have made with that first set of children that you didn't realize were mistakes because you didn't have the wisdom. So it looks like we've got another wise grandmother joining us.
Is that Jacqueline?
This is Jacqueline Ajoa.
Jacqueline Ajoa.
Oh my gosh! I'm saying, is that Jacqueline? Got a whole new look.
Yes. This is Jacqueline
I love
Ajoa.
your hair.
Well, Asante Sana, thank you, my sister.
It's like a African dance. And you're a grandmom, right?
I am a grandmother.
See, that's what grandma's doing now. African dances and all kinds of things. They're not looking for the rocking chair. And she just came back from Africa. Thank you, Viata, for your comment too. Yeah, it's a joy to be a grandmom. And you say growing in more patience every day and wisdom. I tried to get 4 grandmamas today because the ones that committed, something had happened at the school and they went there. Every grandmother was hooking up with the grandchild, going to soccer, going to basketball, going to rugby, going,
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you have that role and you have to be the one to do those things. Mm-hmm. And it really matters that somebody in the family be there for that child. So they realized if the mother or father couldn't be there, they had to be there because you got to feel like somebody's there for you. And a lot of grandparents are doing that role. And another thing also, people are living longer. So
people are living longer.
That has an impact as well. So, life doesn't end at 65 when they tell you should retire. You've got another maybe 20 more years or 30 or 40 even before you finally exit. And so
that's the beauty of this, because I know when I was coming up, once the person retired, they were gone in about 4 or 5 years. Because their whole world was tied up on their job.
Yeah.
And now we understand that there's more to life.
Oh, yeah.
Than just a 9 to 5.
Oh, yes. There is definitely more.
And you just came back from Africa. What are some of the things? Did you notice any difference in how they reared their children over there?
Oh, there were so many things I learned from how they reared their children, and not just reared them, but how they engaged with them. So the children were free to play. They were free to be outside, connecting with nature, in the midst and with animals, the domesticated animals. I mean, and with at the water, children. I saw children in the water bathing, washing clothes. I saw children that were really and really connected to the soil and to the ground, and I mean, just the freedom and the liberation to play is something that I really had never experienced. Well, and the last time I saw that is when I was a child. That we had a lot of freedom to play, but I got to see it there in Africa, in all 4 countries that I visited, and what an experience! And the piece that I saw in terms of the rearing of the children is the children were with the mother. I saw them carrying them on their backs with their wraps, with the baby wraps. I mean, of ages, I would say toddler age, like 3 to 4 years old, with the mother. So they are with them learning the art and the skill of negotiation. That was powerful. So that tells me that children are not seen as a burden. They're not seen as, oh my gosh, let me deal with these kids. You know, I got to go. I got to put my life on hold. I got to stop doing what I do. But no, bring them alongside with you and learn the skill and the art of connectivity, of family, of values. That's how the children learn values, is they are alongside the family. And there truly is a village. We use that word. We say that a lot. But I saw the village in action and the embodiment of the village.
Wow, that's quite a testimony there, because I believe that we speak on the village, but we really don't know what it is. It's not something. It's something that's to be cultivated. And I want you to know that you're listening to The Voice. Those of you who are on the Block Talk Radio of Sister Jacqueline Adwoa. Okay, we got a new word. We got a new name.
Adwoa. It is a Ghanaian name, and it means Monday born.
Monday born.
Monday born.
All right.
Monday born. And that matters. It matters. And I just imagine if every child were to be given an opportunity to embrace an African name, what that could do for that child.
Well, actually, to tell you the truth, embrace a name, give some meaning to their name, because you know that's another thing. We have children who have the beautiful sounding, but they don't have any meaning, and that's very important that we have meaning to our names.
Yes, absolutely. If I could say just a couple more things about names, I gave myself Adwoa. I gave myself No Leeway. No Leeway means pathfinder. And then Wakaboche, I recently received my name from my tribe, which is the Bobe, Afro-Bobe. Yes. Perfect. Wakaboche means lover and beauty of nature.
That is so beautiful. And you know, I noticed that really many cultures outside of the Western culture always connect their names to nature or the deity, you know, or God, you know, something good and rich. And I think scripture usually tells you about the power of a good name. You know, it's better than gold.
It's better than gold.
You know, and I've been thinking too of having a naming ceremony, because I had a friend of mine, in fact, she'll be on here later. Her name was Lucretia, and it's a beautiful sounding name, but it's French for the creature. And so
wow,
we're going to turn it around. And then I had another friend, her name was Latrina, and that's French for toilet. So these beautiful sounding names, if you don't look into them, see what they mean, they're not something that you want to carry with you. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're going to find some of them and redo them, rethink them. Yes. You know, yes. Because it's really important that one has has that. I see that we also have our 1 o'clock, Mr. Lucretia Arna, who's in. And I want to bring you on here. Jacqueline, I'm just so excited. We're going to have you on so you can share more about your experiences. And she's a poet, and she has a dynamic program, too, of encouraging women, particularly that hair. Oh, it's just marvelous thing. And Lucretia, you're here. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm sorry I'm so late.
No, you're right. You're right on time. You're right on time. We're talking about grandparents, and she's a great grandparent. So I'm going to ask that you all stick around after 1 o'clock because she's going to be telling her story. She's a great grandmother, and she's also a weightlifter.
Oh, that's wonderful.
What you say? She's a great grandmother who decided to lift weights after she was 70 years old. Wow. And she's doing a good job. In fact, I was with her a couple of weeks ago at a tournament, and there she was with her little self, picking up more weight than she weighed.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Well, I think I'm on the right show now with the weightlifters.
Well, we carry weight in all different kinds of ways.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Right,
yes, we do.
So what's the highest weight you've ever lifted?
185.
185. Wow.
And,
Wow.
Wow. And how much do you weigh, Lou?
120. Watch it now. Watch what you say. Watch what you say. I weigh 120 pounds.
Wow. He weighs 120 pounds. I know you're tiny. I know that.
Powerlifting.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't even touch that. I won't touch that. And I see her partner is here too, Rhonda Glover.
Yes.
Okay, great. You're on too. Oh, you know what? This must be a girl thing today. Hello.
Yes, I made the cut.
Will you all make sure that you all hook up your network so that they can come on here and chime in? Look, we got Dieta and Tamara, who's a grandmother. You know what? This is turning out just the way it's supposed to be. That's why sometimes you want to control everything, but when you just let it be and stay in the calm, I tell you, God works it out.
Let God do what He does.
God works it out. Because oh wow, there she is, y'all.
Wow.
Come on, with the photo.
That's nice.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Got down in it.
And for those of you who are on the Block Talk, if you want to make a comment, please just press the 1 and join this conversation. Very good. We've got some coming on. You are here. Please just press 1 and join this conversation right now. We've got a board full of grandmamas of all sorts. And I tell you, this is really working out fine. So, right. Earlier, we were discussing Grandparents' Day, and I was with my friend. She went to school. Actually, it was Grandparents' Day, and she wanted to cover for her daughter too. She said, "Well, he's not going to have anybody there because his mother has to work." And so I said, "Well, I'll go with you too." And so, I went only to understand. Coming to a deeper understanding of the importance of intergenerational relationships.
Yes.
As Jacqueline was saying earlier today, that when she visited Africa, the children were involved in everything. In fact, the greetings over in Africa, they don't say hello for many countries. They'll say, "And how are the children?"
Yes.
The children are all right. They know everything is okay.
Yes.
So it's a totally different culture, because they understand and value legacy.
Yes.
And that's something that we as Americans, we're looking for someone else to teach us, but somewhere or another we forgot and didn't value the lessons that we engaged when our grandparents were there, in the soil, planting, we were cooking and all these kind of things. And I was just looking in a different direction. And when you look in a different direction, what is it? Oh, the spiritual says you can't pile state if you're looking back. You know what I'm saying? We got to understand that we are moving towards a better life. And so we learn connecting with each other, all the generations together. We're all one link. So right now we're going to go back to our sponsors. Just give us another minute, and then I'm going to introduce you to our second half of our show, Sister Rhonda Glover and Sister Arno, Sister
Lucretia
Arno, who are our weightlifters, and they're partners and accountability partners in what they do. So just let me know that we're not here to be by ourselves. So as soon as we finish with that commercials, we'll be right back. So don't stray. Don't go away. Just stay right here. Okay? Great.
Have you ever dreamed of going to exotic places, meeting fascinating people, enjoying uplifting music, and spending nights in a luxurious hotel? Do you look forward to a relaxing vacation where you can walk along the beach or sit in a quiet park and enjoy the sunset or sunrise? Whether you're flying around the world or driving across the country, we will share travel tips that will help you stay safe while you enjoy the journey. Join me every third Saturday of the month, 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Standard.
Mm-hmm. 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 Deborah Smith. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just want to say thank you. You know what? We've got. I'm like octopus. They got all kinds of different things going on. Radio. We got the YouTube. We got the Facebook, and then we got the StreamYard. And I just feel like I don't have enough hand. And and Naeem was there too. But you know what? I'm just enjoying the spirit of and the willingness for you all to just work with us on this, because that's something that we are going to have to, well, no, you don't have to do anything, but learning and understanding that everything starts off small. So I want to thank Jackie for coming on and sharing with us for a little while there. And we have Sister Rhonda Glover here and Sister Arnold here. Now I don't know why Jackie calling me from someplace else. But anyway, I can't take that because I'll be taking our Block Talk Radio. Can't do that. I got one phone. So I tell you what, we're just going to take it right on here and introduce you to Sister Arnold, Patricia Arnold. Can we put her back up and let's get a little shot of some of the things going on here. And Rhonda, you look like a teenager there, girl.
Thank you.
All that energy. So, and great grandmamas. That's right, great grandmamas. We're not gonna forget about the great. Well, we do have a great grandmama. So can the great grandmama take the stage and tell us a little something about herself? How many grandchildren? How many great grandchildren do you have? This is our weightlifter and her partner, Rhonda Glover. And I just want to welcome you ladies here to the Female Solution, which is representative of the grandmamas, the new grandmamas of 2024. A long ways from sitting waiting on the rocking chair.
Definitely.
It really is something. I had a lady. I was, when I had a marriage, it was real rocky, and then I was by myself and I was boo-hooing over how life had treated me, how unfair things were. And she said to me, baby, don't worry about it. She said, just go on and ask the Lord to let you live just long enough to raise your children.
Mm.
All right. Yeah.
So then you can just go on to heaven, back to the Lord. That's what you eat. That's all we're supposed to do. Have these
Right.
children and then go on to the Lord because our work is done. And I think and I think about that every now and then. I think about it. You are what you believe.
Yeah.
You are what you believe. And if you've been trained that way, and you've been taught that way, and you've been inundated that way, then that's what life is. So we have broken through glass ceilings and barriers that we might not even aware existed, let alone consciously having something like that put on us. So I just
Yeah.
want to applaud you, ladies. I went to that weightlifting and I said, okay. And I also learned that weightlifters live 9% longer, anywhere from 9% to 22% longer than non-weightlifters. So when I looked that up, I said, well, maybe I will try it.
Gotta make sure
Very
I tell my
good.
sister that she's a weightlifter, and she's not a grandmother yet, but she's got big trophies for powerlifting. So I'll let her know that could be lengthening her life.
Well, all right then. Which one of you all want to start it off? Thank you. And for those of you who are on the lines, audio, you can call us 515-605-9325. Or you can call us at 727-731-5192. And Mario Conts is here. And he says,
Cool.
hey, Steph. Hey, Super Lou, superstars in the house. Love them both. Oh, y'all got a fan club. Thank you, Mario.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Okay,
wow.
great. And for
I
those
don't I
Mhm.
don't know what to do with all this notoriety here. But first of all, let me say this. First of all, to Reverend Woods, Joy Woods, I want to say thank you for even thinking about myself and Rhonda. And when you called me, I immediately said to myself after I talked with you, I said, okay, well, I'm going to need to call Rhonda because I haven't been on this journey by myself. We were hooked up together in the gym by the trainer as well as the owner of the gym. And so we've been together for 10 years, maybe more than that. And I know we've probably gotten tired of each other. She goes her way some days and I go my way some days, but we're always giving accountability to each other. You know, we'll call and say, well, I'm not feeling the gym today, or I've got something to do. But the main thing is that we have always been considerate and understanding of each other. So when she can't go, that doesn't mean I can't go, even if I don't do anything but go and walk on the treadmill. So it's a dedication to what you enjoy, if I can put it like that. It's a dedication to what you enjoy. If you enjoy doing something, then you'll go out of your way to get it done. The other thing I want to say right quick is to Joy. And I was so dumbfounded on last Saturday. We had our meet. And I looked up and she and her husband and her brother walked through the door. I did not know what to say other than, what are you doing here? And I thought about it later. I said, duh, what is she doing here? She came to see you. But that was just such an honor. And that just made me lift even better.
Hey, I told you I was going to make it. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, you did. And I mean, I heard you, and I know you always have a lot on your plate. So I really wasn't expecting you. Being a great grandmother, I want to say this right now. Just got to tell this quick story. Maybe every other week I have to get up like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and take care of my great granddaughter till about I take her to nursery school. Well, last Thursday, no, I'm sorry, last Tuesday. Yeah, last Tuesday, I had to go to the doctor. I had a doctor's appointment. Make a long story short, she's been to the doctor with me before. But on this day, the doctor walked in, and she always has conversation with Bree. We call her Bree. And so she walked in the office and she said, "Good morning, young lady. How are you?" Bree says, "I'm fine." And she says, "Do you know this young lady here?" Referring to me. And she said, "Yes, that's my granny. She calls me granny." No, I'm sorry, she calls me grandma. She says, "That's my grandma." She says, "Oh, okay. Well, can I have your grandmother?" And she said, "No, get your own." And so the doctor says to me, she says, "Okay, that's the end of my day. I don't think I can see anybody else today." After that,
Get your own, Granny.
she said, "Get your own, Granny." So it's a pleasure, first of all, that God has allowed me 81 years to be able to experience these little things with my children, their children, and their children's children. So never in a million years would I have thought I'd live to be 81 and doing what I am doing. And even in the spite the loss of a hubby recently, but God is good. So life goes on. And all you can do is honor God by continuing to live and do what He would want you to do. And that's what I stand on. And I know what I don't do on my power. I don't do because I'm so good at it. I do because He gives me the strength and the mind to do it. And with the weightlifting, I just enjoy doing it. There are things that I know I need to get better at, but in the meantime, I'm learning also that I'm giving encouragement to other people. And so you're never too old to do, you're never too old to pick up a barbell. You're never too old to pick up that jump rope and jump a little bit, you know. Um, and also remember, when you start doing whatever, it doesn't take a lot. You can pick up 5 pounds and be consistent at it and still build muscle.
Really?
Please, anybody that's thinking about doing any of that hey,
Go ahead,
Rhonda,
Miss.
Rhonda, you see that? I was, I was,
Yeah, I see it.
I'm glad I'm seeing that
Thank you for that
because,
unexpected.
yeah.
I'm glad you seen that
You
one.
hear what I said, Rhonda? You see
Yeah,
how off I was?
yeah,
Yeah. But you know
yeah.
what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I still kept moving.
Yep.
Yeah. But back to my what I was just saying. I don't care if you decide to do this tomorrow, don't go in there thinking you can pick up 25 pounds. Pick up 5 pounds and be consistent about it. When I say consistent, if you're going to go 3 days a week, go 3 days a week. If you're going to go 2 days a week, even those days that you might not feel like going, go do something,
And
and
find a
you'd be
partner. This is
surprised.
what I find is the partnership with you and Rhonda is something that I encourage everyone to find a partner, someone who believes in what you're doing and do things together, because sometimes it's difficult to push by yourself.
It
I'm
is. It is.
excited to be there with you. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
So anyone on
So
the audio line, just press one if you have any comments that you want to make. Appreciate that. Uh, just speak, and we will put you online so that they can respond to you. And right now, let me hear from this violinist, Rhonda, and this special Olympic teacher, and all these other things we got going on, Rhonda. Let's hear a little bit from you here. What do you have going on?
Well, first, I want to say thank you for having me on.
Mhm.
It's an honor, especially during Women's History Month.
Yes, let's not
Okay.
forget.
Right, right. Like Miss Lou said, it's working together as a team, partners. And when we first started this, the gym we used to go to, QC, Quality Classic, they put us together according to our ability, that we were close, we were similar in what we did, how much weight we lifted, when we got to the gym, and all of that stuff. So then we together stuck with it and formed a friendship, even though you can see there's an age difference, but that doesn't bother us. And sometimes I will go to the gym, and there'll be a problem or something, and I got to talk to her about something, or vice versa, and we work it out. Yeah, my schedule and her schedule sometimes has a lot going on, but we still make time to go to the gym and do what we need to do.
Well, I just think the two of you. I was writing down here, celebrating wins at any age. At any age, you can celebrate your wins, and having a passion about it. Because Lou, I said, how do you do that? Then she said, mind over metal.
Mind over matter. Yeah,
Mind over matter too.
Matter.
And to me, that to me is like walking in your authority. You're not walking in the thoughts of someone. Says, Henry Rogers says, God bless you, Rhonda.
Yes, that's Reverend. That's one of our associate ministers at my church. Thank you for coming on.
Okay, where's Sandra at, Lou? She didn't get the message. Yeah, that's a faithful. Yeah, we I think that one of the things that I sort of had to sit back and look while I was there in the gym, because it was, I could say it. Yeah, it was like you were in the midst of a white show. So for the other people. And I said, wait a minute, what were your thoughts? Because you it just wasn't the weightlifting, but the challenge and the mindset that you had to go, that you were going into a field, number one, that was at one time just masculine, just males.
Right.
And then white males. And then now you've got white females there. I was surprised to see as many of them. And I mean, they were stocky. They were really built up. And I said, wow. So what was it that allowed you all to accept those challenges, accept those differences? Yeah, Mary Hurt, she said, celebrate your wins.
Because the reason is because the gym we went to, we saw other people of color doing it, because the owner of the gym is black. Okay, so we knew that we could go in there and do that. And then the more meets we went to, we saw more of us, and we talked to more of us, and we encouraged more of us to enter into this.
Wow.
So there's a couple of meets we go to that we've gone to that was 90% black. And then there's others we go to, you see like a sprinkling. And then there's an all women's meet we go to, and there's all different shades of the color at that one.
Wow. I just love that when you can, what is it says, passion over prejudices, passion over any obstacle, because you bring your environment with you. You bring your own belief system in you.
Mm-hmm.
That's standing in your authority. That's standing in your power, your God-given power, and saying, "Hey, wherever I stand is where I'm supposed to be."
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
And as a result, I took some pictures with some of the others, and they embraced us. Oh, we always know they have that kind, but I just think it is so awesome that not only mind over metal, but mind over matters, other matters, because you created a situation for your mind to be laser focused on what you want to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
And you did it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about it. It took me a long. Oh, wait, this Rhonda. Oh, Lord, help me. Yeah, that's it, Rhonda. You got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. That's it. Go, Rhonda. All right. Now you're pulling yourself up. Go again. Lift it up. Go. All right, come on. Yeah. I want to thank Sharon for that. I couldn't do all of that. He's in the other room working it up. I got to work with this too. All right,
Okay.
Tamara Ladot, she says, yeah, Rhonda. Yeah. All right.
All right.
Wow, Rhonda. Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Yes, indeed. Wonderful. It is. I mean, it is wonderful. And just you all coming in, it gives me more to think about alternatives, even for myself. That because you wrote something in your bio and you were saying that, you enjoy your life, and you're going to do it until you stop enjoying it, and
Yeah.
then hey Lou, then you go to the scripture, the joy of the Lord
Is my strength.
is my strength. So where you find your joy, God is there in the midst of it.
Exactly. Yes, yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Yes,
Okay.
and
Right.
to me, that was another thing when I went and I was in the midst of all of these people. And I saw a couple of brothers sitting on the side, but they didn't get into I learned, you guys. I learned about squatting, squatting. That's
Bench press.
you need. Then
And
they got
benching.
another one called the bench,
Bench press.
Bench press. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then there's the deadlifting. My
Deadlift.
goodness, I tell you, and the
Well,
language was there, and people were suiting up to apply for whatever they were doing. And it was one guy who was attempted to lift 1,000 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, but I learned later about the rules. And the rule is that you got to lift whatever you say you're gonna do.
oh yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
change the rule.
Definitely. You
And
can't
I
change
thought
it.
about it. I said, now if he had said maybe 900 pounds, he'd have done that.
Right.
And then he had the opportunity to raise it up.
Mm-hmm.
But at least he matched his word. He said it, and you can't change your word. Now, that is something I look at that too and say, my word is bond. You say it, that's it. Now,
Yeah.
you're gonna have 3 times to keep your word, right? But that was the word for him. He didn't make it. Boy, that guy was so big. And these things you put in your mouth, I see that when you're doing contact sports. But what's the significance of having this in your mouth and you just lifting up weights? What is that about?
So he won't choke. He won't bite his tongue.
So he won't bite his tongue. You know,
That's a
when
lot
you're
of weight.
lifting, that's a lot of weight. When you're lifting, even when I'm lifting, they tell you to take deep breaths. You have to take deep breaths, but think about it. When you're doing anything that's strenuous, what do you usually do? Your mouth usually kind of goes with the sport when you think about it. Even when I'm bowl, when I bowl, I find myself sometimes grit my teeth. So when you're weightlifting, you're grunting. You
Mm.
know, think about it. You're grunting. So when you're grunting, you're how do I explain it? Um, you're holding your breath, and so you got your teeth, you got your tongue in there, and so one is gonna, with that much weight, you trying to get some leverage, so to speak, if I'm making sense.
Mm-hmm.
Some
So,
leverage, some strength.
so more than just what they see is at work, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So you got all this stuff working. You got your knees, you got your arms, you got your mind. All of this is working together. you know.
Woo! Stars in heaven, I
And,
tell
and
you.
and so that's one reason why that much weight, I would imagine there.
Wow. Yeah,
Um,
because he had this yellow. I see
yeah,
football players.
yeah,
I see soccer players, but like
yeah,
contact sport. But
yeah,
I
right,
didn't
right.
understand what that
Mm-hmm.
was about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that is amazing.
yeah,
That is
yeah.
amazing. That is
But
amazing.
I have to tell on Reverend Joy. And like she said, she was so amazed. She came in looking, and she could barely talk to me because she says, "Oh my God, what is? Oh, look at what is he doing? Oh, oh, oh my God, Lou, are you gonna do that?" But just like a kid in a candy store. What do I get first? And I have to say thank you to her husband for getting those shots that we are looking at of Rhonda and myself. Um, I think he was just as excited to be doing this. I looked up and he's putting a microphone in my face, and he's asking me a question, and I'm looking at him like, "What?"
Yeah, well, one of the things that I when I walked in the door, it was another energy level in the room.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
definitely.
an energy. I said, "Oh
Yes.
wow, it's
Yes,
something's
yes,
going on in
yes,
here." And
yes.
and so I'm from the South, and I still have certain feelings when I'm looking in a with all a
Yeah.
page. I still
Yeah,
it kind of and I
Yeah.
said, "Ooh, what is
yeah.
it? What am I looking at? What am I feeling?"
Right, right,
'Cause
right,
I don't want to
right.
be uncomfortable because I can
Yeah,
feel that
yeah,
too. But
yeah,
it was a
yeah,
But
different kind of energy,
yeah.
and
yeah.
sometimes I can't identify it, but I know I was in a different vibration, another energy, and then eventually during the tournament, I recognized the fact that that is another world.
Yes.
Yes, it is. It is. It is. Another
It's
world.
Also,
another
also,
world.
also too, the color really isn't an issue. It's the camaraderie and everybody cheering on everybody.
You're
Even if I'm against you in the same category, I can cheer you on, you can cheer me on, and we can high five in front of everybody. Ain't no big deal.
And another
Yeah.
thing I realized the danger
Oh, yeah.
that went into it because there was support around the person the whole while,
Yeah.
regardless of
Yeah.
how
What
little
they were
weight
doing.
you lifted or how
Exactly.
much you was. And when I saw all these big men, when that guy was about to do 1,000 pounds, and they had about 4 guys on the left side and
Mm-hmm.
4 guys on the right side, I
Mm-hmm.
said, "Oh my stars, this is what I don't see on
Somebody in the
TV."
front. Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they were in position. They were
Yeah.
squatting in
Yeah.
position, ready that if he wasn't able to do what he did, that they wouldn't bring that 1,000 pound down on him. But
That's right.
I noticed. I said, "Oh my stars!" They and you. It was amazing. It was amazing to me. And I thought about it. I said, if more of us would see these kinds of collaborations and workings of support for each other, we'll realize that uh, in life, things that we are called to do, we all should
Mhm.
have some type of mentor or somebody with us in all matters. Like you say, you
Yeah.
and I were able
Yeah.
to talk because sometimes the weight is emotional weight, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
tension, whatever. But we have to have somebody. Oh, oh, come out here, Lou. Here you come again. Oh, this is the bench press. Whoa!
Come on, Lou.
We'll do it on three, okay?
Put that man on the couch,
Digging
even
in
though
on
those are
no
real
count.
weights in it.
1, 2, up.
Hey, get in front of the judges.
Stop! Come on! Hey, hey, hey.
And I didn't know what that man was saying. I had to listen so many times. I said, "What is he yelling?" but eventually, I heard him say, "Touch, right? Touch." And what happens when he says that?
No, he was saying, he was
Press.
probably saying press. You have to listen to commands. Once you pull the weight up off of you, once the gentleman that was standing behind me, he gave me the weight, and I have to put it all the way down to my chest, and it has to stay there for a second. Then the referee, what do you call him?
Judge.
Yeah, the
Judge.
judge, he'll say press. And when he says press, that means you bring it up off of your chest and you hold it for a second. That second, if you can't bring it up and put it on the rack, you have to wait for him to say rack. And when he says rack, then you put it in back of you.
Oh, I didn't understand any of that.
That's what he was saying. So it's press and rack.
That's how you get 3 white lights. 3 white lights.
Yeah, and trust me, they judge you on what if you're listening. Rhonda can tell you about that. Or last year or year before that. Anyway,
yeah.
But you have to hear what
our
they're
audience
saying.
don't stray, don't go away, because we're going to do our last commercial before we end our show today. And I tell you, don't stray, because I want to hear more about what these ladies are doing at the tournaments and the training. Because you all told me you have to, just for that one tournament, that it took you several weeks to prepare.
And actually, we were kind of short on our preparation. We should have started at least 2 weeks before, but we decided at the last minute to do that particular meet. But it's important to start training like at least 8 to 10 weeks before you go out.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, hold those thoughts. We'll be right back. And this is our last sponsor and commercials for the day. And I just want you to just hang on in here. And those of you who are on the blog talk, just press 1 if you want to go to YouTube or Facebook and see these young ladies here. You can do that too, but we'll be right back in about 3 more minutes, okay? So don't go away.
Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution Global Radio TV show. We are a part of the online network of Associated Internet Radio hosts. On Air. On Air empowers you with transformative news and interactive radio TV shows. This is such a wonderful time to be alive and to see our human family coming together as one community as a result of that powerful tool, the internet. We can now talk directly to each other all over the world. There's no need for conflict or misunderstanding. There's no need for violence to solve our differences. We can talk to each other face to face until we reach an agreement. On Air offers a fantastic global guide to communicators from all over the world who are using their internet platforms to inspire us to strive to be our best selves in order to become the kind, compassionate, loving people we were all born to be. Once we do that, we'll see planet Earth transformed into a place of peace. Subscribe to the recommended YouTube channels, Facebook pages, and podcasts created by these Voices of Enlightenment. On Air provides daily news briefs and a weekly magazine to keep you abreast of events and opportunities. On-air news affiliates in television, radio, and print share information, insight, and interviews with notable personalities. Go to onaireverywhere.com for a daily dose of uplifting news. We're on air everywhere, online all the time.
All right.
Oh man, God sent the monthly sun bill today. This sunlight is really expensive, especially during this season. I'll probably have to work overtime to pay it.
Well, you better pay it on time. We don't want the sun to go out and we're sitting up here all day in the dark. Wouldn't it be terrible if God charged us for sunlight? Well, thank God, the light and heat from the sun is free. So why are we paying such high bills for the energy we use in our homes? Because we don't know how to use solar energy, the free energy from the sun. You can convert your regular home to a solar energy home and save tremendously on your electric bill. Take a look at your electric bill. Wouldn't you like to reduce or possibly even eliminate that cost altogether? Let one of our solar consultants show you how. Call today, 312-849-3456, and schedule a free consultation. That's 312-849-3456. Do you or your organization need space for an event? Call the Quarry Event Center at 2423 East 75th Street in Chicago for your parties, banquets, award ceremonies, repasses, concerts, and business seminars. Available 7 days a week. Now under new management. Call us at the Quarry at 773-663-2557. That's 773-663-2557.
All right, as we are continuing on, we're just going to go into our second half. We're coming into the end of it right now and talking to our guest here. I was about to say Reverend Arnold, was Sister Arnold and Sister Rhonda Glover. Is that Danny Glover? I was trying to think it's Danny Glover. You're related to Danny Glover?
But they finally can pronounce the last name right when he came on the scene. Before then, everybody used to get Glover pronounced wrong.
What were they saying?
Everything else but Glover.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to touch that. Okay, well, now we're into our last end of it. And you, ladies, I am just so honored to have you here today. You have no idea of how much I appreciate you, you know. What difference has this weightlifting done for your life? How you know, how did you get into it? I know that your husband Lou was in some way instrumental in influencing you to that. Am I wrong on that or what?
He was sort of, when I told him, he laughed. He said, "Yeah, right, Lou." And then he saw that, you know, on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I was really faithful going to the gym. And finally he says, "Lou, you're really serious about this, huh?" I said, "Yeah, I'm serious about it. And you know what? I'm enjoying it." And now this was before the owner, who was our trainer, came before us with telling us that there was going to be, they call it a meet. And I said, "What?" "Well, it's a tournament, but it's called a meet, Lou." And I said, "Okay." And I'm looking at Rhonda and I'm saying, "What is he talking about?" And he says, "Well, I want you all to compete." "Compete where? Why? What?" Anyway.
I'm having fun already. What is this about, you know?
Yeah, what is this about? And he says, "You know, you are strong. Rhonda's strong. You all can do this, you know." make a long story short, it's like, okay, we're going to do this. And so naturally, he had us in training. And trust me, the day of that we did it, I don't know about Rhonda, but the first day I did it, remember my husband says, okay, how much are we going to weigh? Well, at the time, I started off with what, 113 pounds, 112 pounds, something light. For me, was heavy, but now it's light. That amount of weight, when I'm in training, I can lift like 10 times 112 pounds. But at that time, it was, you're looking at me like, yeah, right. But it's lightweight for me now, whereas it was heavy then. Anyway, the day of is like, I don't know, like I said, I don't know about Rhonda, but
112 pounds is light.
My stomach was in such a turmoil. I had butterflies and all this, everything was going through my mind. And then I thought to myself, okay, I'm enjoying doing this. Whether I win, I'm not trying to win anything. I'm just trying to see if I can get out there and showcase and do something, So after the first
event?
After the first event, even after that first time, even now when I get ready to do it, I still am nervous. I'm still, because it's not that I'm so sure of myself. It's like anything could go wrong. I didn't listen to the judge, anything. So there's always that nervousness. And so, yeah, my husband was instrumental, and he encouraged me in his own way. And he encouraged me by making certain that he came, as well as my children. My children are very supportive when it comes to it. And I appreciate that. So what I've actually gained from that is, how do I say it? More assurance in who I am as a person. And not, as I was coming up, I always felt like people were down me. I never knew enough. It's just, as I've gotten older and this weightlifting, it's given me a certain amount of, what's the word that I want?
Confidence.
Confidence in myself in doing certain things.
It's empowering too, Lou.
And it is. It's
very empowering.
Yeah.
Oh boy, here we go again.
Yeah.
Squats.
What's this, Lou?
Squats.
This is the squat. The squats. And like you say, they're always there to hold you up. So now that's my weak point. One day I'm gonna keep that up.
I love the camaraderie the way you talk.
How's that feel? Great.
That was the last meet that we just had last week.
Yeah, that was last week, right? My stars. Yeah. That's Naima says impressive. I think I'll start weightlifting.
But start with what you can do. You can't look at everybody else and go, I'm gonna do what they do. No, you start at the level that you can do. If you can only do if you can only do the bar, then just do the bar. If you can't do that bar, go get you 2 dumbbells. Start at the level you can start at.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think sometimes I go beyond, and that's why I don't last long. I get discouraged going for too much. That's great. Yeah.
But for me, when I started at a time when I had just got laid off from work. And I hated I did not like exercise, and you couldn't pay me to go to nobody's gym. If you would have gave me a membership back then, I would have just wasted your money, because I wouldn't step foot in that gym. No day, doing nothing. Then one day I took my mother because my mother was sick, and we walked up the street because it was in the neighborhood, and we looked, and they wasn't even open yet. But we went in and we knocked on the door. We went in there. We looked around. He talked to us, and I joined. And then he started talking to me. I started looking at the other people in there doing their thing. I said, well, maybe I can do that. I'm looking. And then finally the owner of the gym said, okay, you can do that. Come on, let me find you a workout partner. And you're going to get over here and you're going to do this.
A workout partner. That's what it is. You're workout partners, right? Well,
and that's what we did at that gym. He teamed up everybody with a workout partner. Just about 90% of us had workout partners for accountability and to make sure we kept coming.
Oh, you on it set now. Here you go. Oh, you gripped it. Oh, Lord. Come on. Oh, wow, Ron. That's what you're talking about. Oh, okay. All in your face. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. How much weight was that, Wanda?
That was a squat. That was probably 130, 135.
Wow. Yeah, I can see why you're attempting to stabilize. And the guy was.
And then I always take a step back when I do a squat. So once I get the weight on my back, I take a step with one foot, then the other foot step back, and then go down.
Oh, everybody has their own style.
No, right. Everybody don't take a step. Some people do, some people don't. But I always take a step.
So that's something you develop, because Lou was telling me about it. You develop your style. In time.
Yeah, you do.
You could have played that one back again, because you look like you was into.
Well, we had a motto at the gym we went to: form is everything. Make sure you get the form, and then worry about how much weight it is. Because he would tell us at the gym, the owner would tell us in a minute, just lift it. Forget about how much weight is on there. Just lift it. Now, and then when you got through lifting it, he'll tell you how much it was.
Well, tell me, are you all still at that gym, and is that trainer?
No, that gym, he retired and closed it. Then somebody else took it over, and that particular owner was good too. Cause he's on the other owner. He's on right now too. Mario.
Oh, Mario. Oh, where's Mario? Mario is on. Okay, well. And where's that gym located?
It was, but that one's closed too. So yeah.
So where are you all training now?
CFX in Olympia Fields.
Olympia Fields. I was trying to figure out where in Chicago. I'll have to look around.
It's 30 miles south of Chicago.
Okay. Well, is this sport pretty expensive?
It can be if you want it to be. If you do like what we saw at the meet Saturday with all those suits, them extra suits they put on, and all them extra wraps, and the smell stuff that they were using, it can be.
Oh, that's right, the smell stuff. Okay.
And the different shoes that they wear.
Oh. Okay.
But just like any event that you participate, there is a entry fee. So if you're going to be about doing 3 or 4 tournaments a year, and then depending if they're out of town, it can become expensive. It's just like I bowl. So me bowling, paying for a room, paying for the entry fee, paying to eat, so yeah, it can be expensive, but if it's something you like and you want to do it,
the cost isn't an issue.
The money's not an issue.
I know.
And one year I did the nationals and I qualified. I came in 3rd place. Then me and Miss Lou, we went to the world, and she cheered me on. She was my backup coach. She cheered me on at the world, and that was in Orlando, Florida. So there goes some expense right there.
Right.
I think I remember, Lou, to you telling me about you had to go support your partner.
Yeah, right.
I remember.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still wanted to do it, but my money was funny, and she finally figured that out. I didn't have to say it, but I did. She found that out, so we ended up making it work.
That's what partners do.
Yeah.
And we made it work, and we had fun.
That's something you said, and I think Lou doesn't say it as much as you do, but you do have fun, and if there's no joy in it, then what's the purpose of it?
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
But you haven't. But as far as your body, your health, do you feel it has really benefited you? Even the emotional level.
Oh yeah.
Oh, here we go again. Here you go again. Oh my God.
Definitely. You learn how to eat right. You learn how to take care of your body better. I've learned how to
thank you
take that, take care of my body better.
Go Lou again.
You know what? I must say that was a bad lift, but anyway, don't show that again. That was a bad lift. But anyway, I've learned how to take better care of my body, and I've learned how to do some things that I wasn't doing before. I thought I was doing, but I wasn't. So, it's really helped me maintain that. And I know people say I'm small, but, even small people can be overweight. So I've learned how to cut back on my sweets and how to eat healthy stuff. So yeah, it's made a difference in the way, I am living. It's made a difference in the way I eat, and it's made quite a difference for me. And I'm just glad that that's something that and somebody says to me, "Oh, how long are you gonna do it?" As long as God keeps giving me the strength in my body to do this, I will be doing it.
Well, I see Zelda Robinson. She's saying, "Hey." She's one of our hosts here on Female Solution. She said, actually, she's extending her hand out to Naima, saying, we can work out together, Naima. So they got the partnership coming up here now.
All right, now that's what I'm talking about.
And that's so important in how you inspire the listeners, or inspiring other people who are watching you, all different ages here, how to pursue their interests and dreams, regardless of social norms or personal doubts, regardless of who says what. You set the bars of your life standards for yourself, and trust that. And what is your word to the younger people about this weight lifting and challenges? What would be your advice or your word to them?
Rhonda, your turn.
Oh, okay. You can do whatever you set your mind out to do. The age is just a number on a piece of paper. Cover up that number and keep it moving. If that's what you want to do, then go do it. Figure out the steps to do it and do them in order and get it done.
Look what's happening here, girl. Woo! That's that squat. Oh, gee. Now you're not sitting on anything. You're on your knees. I mean, you're actually.
That's your legs bringing you down into your squat position, because you have to go low like you're sitting on the toilet.
Oh, you got to go
down. And then you wait, and then you bring it up, and then you wait at the top, and then you rack it. Put it back on the bar.
Okay, let's watch this again. So you get your knees together, and
I had to take a step back. Take my step back, and then come down.
She's waiting for that command. She can't do anything till if you notice, she's looking at him, at the judge.
Oh, I
She can't move until
letting
he puts
him
his
know
hands
I'm
on.
ready. I'm letting him know I'm ready when I'm got the weight, and then he said, "Okay, go." Then I bring it down.
So you're looking at you watching him. That's some
Yes,
tension there. Woo.
yes.
Then I
How
take
long
my
you got
step
there?
back. Then I take my step back and I come down. Then when I bring it up, I bring it and rack it after he tells me to rack it.
Oh, he tells it. Okay, racket. Oh my stars, I was missing all that.
You have to listen for the commands. That's how you get your white lights or your red lights. You have to get at least 2 white lights. You want all 3 of them to be white lights.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, I've enjoyed you all today, and this is something different we've got on it. We want to thank our listeners on the Block Talk as well as here. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Facebook and YouTube. Another round of applause for some ladies here. And remember, age has nothing to do. If you are determined, you can get wins regardless. These ladies have been empowered with this, and now you all are role models.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Sharon, we want to thank you.
Yes,
Appreciate that very, very much.
yes,
We had to tell him to back off, otherwise they've been disqualifying. But we're gonna.
Yeah.
We want to thank him for that.
He was excited too.
Yeah. And also too, both of our reputations follow us to the meets. They hear about us, and then when we get to the meets, everyone wants to know who is Miss Lucretia, who is Miss Rhonda. When we get there, then they see us, they're like, "Oh, okay, can we take pictures with y'all?"
Oh well, hey, now you're part of the female solution here in the Block